What is going on, everybody? It is your boy DigiWatch22, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you my very cheap Smiter build. Alright everybody, so this build is very effective and super cheap. Right now I'm currently level 80. I've been doing this since I was level 75. Your level won't really matter. I've seen it done with a lot lower. I think somebody has a video up with like level 30 or something. Fantastic stuff, man. They're doing a great job with that. For this build, I aim to go very cheap and effective. Super cheap. I wanted to make sure to not get the best items. That way anybody could copy, especially like a newer player. You know, people who can't afford a lot or don't have a lot of extra high runes laying around. This is fantastic for you. So first off is the weapon. Black rune word, dirt cheap. 3 open socket flail. You can pretty much get this from anywhere. I got it in Act 2 from the vendor. I don't remember. I think it was the female right by the chest. Can't think of her name off the top of my head, but I got it from her, and I don't remember if it was nightmare or hell, but I mean, you just keep going back and forth. You'll eventually get it. 15 IAS, 120 ED, 202 to your attack rating. You got knockback. The big one there is 40% chance of crushing blow, and then you got some other little cool things. G face is phenomenal. You could also socket this, add in some extra goodies. I didn't do it because, again, I'm just going for dirt cheap. 30% faster hit recovery, 35% chance of crushing blow, just phenomenal. 15% deadly strike, and blah blah, right? You can probably get this for a pole rune. So far free, maybe a pole rune. Maybe you could look around for lem. People usually give those away for free. High Lord's amulet, I don't expect you have to pay more than like a pole for this. 1 to all skills, 20 IAS, 30% deadly strike. Based on the character level, everything. Phenomenal stuff right here. Lightning resistance always helped. For the shield, I went with a very cheap Pally Spirit. I don't remember how much resistance was in it before putting it in or combining it with the Spirit. I mean, you can pretty much get away with anything as long as your resistance are decent. The armor, this is only 256 defense armor treachery. It's absolutely incredible. You know, you may be thinking for a newer player, like, why are you using this? You see it's 2 to assassin skills. Well, you got 45 increased attack speed, which is phenomenal, 20% faster hit recovery. But the big one here is going to be the 5% chance to cast level 15 Fade. So what does Fade actually do? If you look down here, my resistance, this is in hell difficulty. I only have 4 to resistance. I have 58 to my cold, 74 to lightning, and 60 to poison. Yours may actually be a lot worse. It probably will be because I have like a torch and some other things. But anyways, once you cast this Fade, your resistance will go through the roof. So as you can see, the big one here, just look at the fire resistance of 4. People have a lot of different techniques. I personally like to go to Frigid Highlands, come over here and just take some hits. You know, you don't have to do this. In my opinion, this is just faster because, you know, look at all these monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these guys are hitting you, right? You can go to Act 4, Act 5, or whatever. Go stand in the flame. Personally, I don't like to do that. I just feel like it takes too long. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys hit me all at once. So, I mean, you just have so much time. There you go. Of course, you can also see some desync there, which is phenomenal. But anyways, I look almost invisible, right? If you can see right there, it didn't take very long. In the fire, it's kind of like hit you. It's a very slow thing, and I like it when there's just multiple enemies just attacking, right? It just gets it so much faster. So remember, the fire resistance before was 5, we're at 64, and everything else we're at 75, 85, and 75. This will be phenomenal. You don't need any more than this to kill any of the Ubers. I do recommend maxing out if you want to. I mean, why not, right? But, you know, you don't absolutely have to. I've done it with far less resistance. So for the gloves, and this is going to be the most expensive part, I personally paid an rune for mine. You can definitely find it maybe cheaper, maybe more expensive, you know, but I wouldn't pay over Mal, definitely. If I were you, I would just personally pay the just look around. Maybe the first 10 people won't sell it to you, but eventually that 11th person will. But why do you want this? 5% chance to cast life tap on striking. That will keep you alive, right? So right now I have 1500 without my BO health at the bottom left. You can see that. This will continue to just give me life, right? I have so much increased attack speed that I'm just always hitting them and getting my life back. Originally, I was using this level 5 life tap on, which we purchased from Act 1 in Akara. You can just make the cow level go in and out. That's the super dirt cheap way. I've kind of upgraded my style because it gets somewhat annoying casting on switch your life tap and then switching. You know, it is a guaranteed life tap, which is great, but personally, I would rather just use the gloves. If you want, like I said, if you want to go dirt cheap, go ahead and go with the wand. You can buy this probably for like 250, 300,000 gold. I'm not really sure. But anyways, Drax will just help you with convenience. That's probably going to cost you an umish. Raven Frost is the first ring that we're using. The reason I'm using this, cannot be frozen, is phenomenal, but the main reason here is the cold absorb of 20%. That is massive, right? Any cold damage that I take, I'm absorbing 20% of that. For Thunder Gods, I'm using the belt. You could use other things. Some people say use Razor Tail. Some people say this or that. Personally, I like Thunder Gods because now I'm getting 20 to lightning absorb. If you look at the bottom there. So we got cold absorb, lightning absorb, and guess what else? Dwarf Star. Okay, now the reason I use this is because of Fire Absorb, 15%. So now all 3 elements besides the poison, of course, I'm absorbing a lot of that damage, right? That's super dirt cheap. You should be able to get a Raven for like a Lem if people even charge you. I wouldn't pay over Pole. Thunder Gods, I wouldn't pay over Pole. Dwarf, I would definitely not pay over Pole. These generally are not very expensive items, right? So there's nothing in here so far except for the gloves that I would pay anything above a Pole for. Gold Riders, a lot of people just give you these for free. 30% run walk, 15% chance of crushing blow. That's phenomenal. 10% deadly strike, etc., etc. 10% chance to open wounds. Combining all of these, I genuinely believe you should be able to get this build minus the Drax easily for an Ist rune or under. Now, my charms, I just have a lot of bullcrap. This is a large charm that gives me 6 resistance and things that give me life and just little smaller things, hit recovery, blah, blah, blah. Do I really need it? I don't know. But, you know, why not, right? Just some extra benefits here and there on different resistance. That's a 5 to all resist. You don't necessarily need those. You can definitely do it without it, but I just like to have it. If you're going for dirt cheap, you do not need this call to arms, the CTA. What I would recommend, if you're dirt broke and you just can't afford a CTA, get your barb to come in. A lot of people use sandbox. I personally don't use that. I just do one, but a lot of people do use their own barb to BO them. They can use a friend, etc., etc. I mean, and that will just help your survivability significantly. I wouldn't do it without BO if I were you. You can do it. I have done it. Now I'm up to 2200, which isn't much, but I was at 1500. But I mean, you can do it. It's very possible. As far as my skills, there are some big ones that you absolutely have to have. Obviously, Smite is the big one, which if you can look at the bottom left, I use on the left click for Smite. I've maxed that out completely. There's really no synergies for that. You go down a couple, you have to get Holy Shield. This is absolute must. I personally put this on at 4, cast it once, right? And then swap back. Okay, so that's what I use there. And then you can get the synergies for that, but just wait and hold off until the rest of the video. So for your offensive ores, you're gonna wanna go with Fanaticism. This is a must, absolute must. It helps you significantly. You can see when active or increases damage, attack speed, attack rating for you and your party. Phenomenal stuff. You have to get this. This is an absolute must. There is no synergy for that, unfortunately. Going into defensive, you're going to want at least 1 into salvation. Salvation will help you survive so much. You will find out. Use that only for Mephisto, okay? I'm not saying Lilith, I'm saying Mephisto. Maybe you could do it for Lilith. I've never tried, but Mephisto inside the Ubers, this will keep you alive way more than using any other skill, in my opinion at least. Another thing you want to get is Defiance. Once you've maxed out your Holy Shield, once you've maxed out your Smite and everything. Why Defiance? It's just going to help out your Holy Shield a little bit more. 15% defense per level. So yeah, once you've already maxed out everything, go ahead and start going for the synergies. Another important thing, I like to put in 1 to resist fire, 1 to resist cold, and 1 to resist lightning. This will just help you, you know, you can just read what it does. And another shortcut that you're going to want to take, and you don't have to, but I would recommend taking, is you want to get a sorceress friend, right? You want to get a buddy of yours, or, you know, I mean, I guess you could use your sandbox or whatever and do it yourself, but you want to get some teleporting on, because the Smiter is fantastic against 1 enemy at a time, okay? He's great. The life tap will keep him alive. If it comes to the point where you're running around all these places, it's going to be a very long process. It's going to be a difficult process. You're going to probably die a lot, you know, and then so just really get a Sork friend. So I have a buddy here. He's not a Sork, but he will be teleporting for me, which is phenomenal. I tell him, you know, hey, thank you so much, blah, 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 and he teleports for me, and, you know, you can always kill the Ubers for him in return. All right, so the Furnace of Pain. Going in, and there you go. Your buddy sends you a great TP. Sometimes they're not going to be this great, so keep that in mind. You do want to kill a lot of the enemies if you can, but this is pretty much what you can expect. I've used 1 full rejuve. As you can see, that red thing casting is the life tap. If you didn't have this and you were using your wand, you'd have to manually cap it, but look how fast that was. So smooth, so easy, right? And voila. Pick up your next piece, and you just keep moving. Unfortunately, I thought I was recording, but I already killed Duriel. It was super easy. Pretty much the same as Izual that you just saw. It was actually a little bit faster. He'll generally be right around this little area, but sometimes he's not. Every now and then he's not. So now we're going to go ahead and fight Lilith. Before I fight Lilith, I ensure that my BO is casted. Again, that I have the poison resistance, because that's going to be the big one. We have lots of full rejuves just in case something crazy happens, and you will see us fight her right here. A lot of the times you get a crappy town portal from somebody, and you see how fast she's killing us. So you just kind of have all those rejuves and you're good to go, right? And sometimes life tap doesn't happen as easy. There we go. Now we got the life tap. Now it's smooth sailing. You want to kill those enemies before you fight her. Trust me, because if they put amp damage on you, she will rip you in pieces. But this is definitely what you can expect. You can see the smoothest of it. And there you go. All 3 are done. Just that quick, just that smooth, and just that easy. Again, if you don't have a teleporter, it's not going to be quite that easy. I would not recommend walking there and trying to find it. It's going to be a huge hassle. All right, so one thing to point out, guys, you're going to want to make sure you have a good amount of gold, at least like 100,000. When you're a smiter, your weapon breaks all the time, constantly. So you're going to have to constantly repair it. It's not super expensive generally for a black rune word. I think I spend like 5,000 or under 10,000 generally, depending on how broken it is. Pretty simple. All right, so my technique, once we've actually made the ubers and put all 3 organs inside of the cube, is I have mana. This is going to be mostly for Bale or anything that is around Bale. They'll suck your mana, and it's very annoying. You don't want to use full reduce if you don't have to. Again, I have my BO. I make sure I have my fade, and I go all the way around. Unlike Pluggy, which is single player, I go all the way around. You could have walked right there. It doesn't matter. I try to be safe. I use salvation here because Mephisto 9 out of 10 times will come to me. There we go. Again, salvation, not anything else. Not fanaticism or whatever. Fanaticism, sorry. Right? There we go. We haven't even got our life tap just yet, unfortunately. That's why we have those full rejuves just waiting. And there you go. And you just absolutely demolish Mephisto. Yeah, just too easy, right? There you go. So I run all the way around because I don't want to bring the monsters in the pile. So Diablo and Bale are somewhere in the middle. This big pack is over here. I want to keep them 100% separated. If I can keep them separated, it's much easier, right? You'll notice a lot of problems, especially in Ubers with desyncing. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something like specifically wrong with Ubers, but the BattleNet servers are just god awful, to be honest with you. They're just terrible. And so like you'll try to fight an enemy and you'll start glitching out and you'll die. I would not recommend this build for hardcore. We can get into that a little bit later. So my technique is generally just come over here. Once I came all the way around, Bale will usually come to me. There we go. Bale did come to me. Most of the time he will do that. We got life taps super easy. And no forward Jews have been used. I used 1, I believe, on Lilith. Not Lilith, I'm sorry. Mephisto. Maybe 2. And too easy, right? Too easy. And then I'm going to run away. If I need to go to town, I will do so. I'll ensure that my BO is good to go. Again, I'm just trying to separate these guys as best as I can. And so now we know we have a pile way down there, a pile way over here. And so I'm just going to come up the middle right here and find Diablo. And it should be GG. And we will get a torch for this character once again. Yeah. Again, I haven't used any full rejuves. Now I'm going to. There we go. I'm not sure if my holy shield went away. Make sure you got your holy shield going. And easy as that. I mean, it's just really truly that easy. So here I need to move my current torch, which is terrible, which is 1016 Amazon. I'm going back to pick up this bad boy, and I'm hoping for like a 2020 Pally or a 2020 Sork torch or something. And here we go. 2018 Assassin torch. Wow, that's super good. Oh man, that is super good. Unfortunately it's an assassin, but hey, you know, you could still trade that. I mean, if you are going to find somebody who plays assassin, necro, druid, things like that, this is a very amazing one. Attributes are generally more important than resistance, so a near perfect assassin, that is phenomenal stuff. All right guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Again, black rune word and just everything else that you have is just really not that good, but you kill ubers too easy. I would strongly recommend don't get a grief, don't get an exile, don't spend high runes on any of your crap, man. There's no need. For me, a Smiter's not a character that I plan on playing. I literally just do this one thing, kill ubers, and that's it. And that's the only purpose for this character. That's all I do it for. I personally don't see any reason for you to go spend all these higher, big items on something that you're not going to use all the time. Does that make sense? Why invest on something that you can do for dirt cheap with a black rune word, right? So that's crazy, guys. But the point of this video was just to help out somebody new. I wanted to show you guys a dirt cheap build that anybody could mimic. That was kind of the goal there, and hopefully it works for you. Definitely let me know in the comment section below. Is this a build you're going to use? Is this a build you've already used? Just let me know your success rate. Did it work for you? Did it not work for you guys? I hope it helps you, and until next video, guys, it is your boy DJWars22 signing out.